The house of Igbinedon'S romped off in grand felicitation and celebration as Imade Vanessa Igbinedon'S, the daughter of Bright Igbinedon'S and granddaughter of the Asama of Benin Kingdom, Sir Gabriel Osawa Igbinedon'S, stepped out with Osmond Omoregbe Eweka of the Great Benin Kingdom. The event was the native law and custom marriage, which the Igbinedon'S family has always given a special attention. As usual, it was an occasion for the Igbinedon'S to demonstrate how far-reaching their connections and goodwill have gone among friends, relatives and loved ones across the globe. The Igbinedon'S and Ewekas were honored with the esteemed presence of people from all divides across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country and beyond. Dignitaries decked out in very rich designs of their cultural wares, with the bride and groom's family opting for different color codes for the day. The traditional marriage of Imade Vanessa Igbinedon'S and Osmond Omoregbe Eweka is one that also seeks to further bind us together as one people, even though our tongues and tribes may differ. To quote a stanza of Nigeria's national anthem, even though the parents of the groom are from Benin in Edo State of Nigeria, the mother of the bride, Reverend Barrister Mrs. Mina Igbinedon'S father, is from Boni, River State, while her mother is from Nsukka in Enugu State. The proceedings formally began with the opening prayer, rendered by Engineer Bishop Matthew Okpobolo. Mr. Alan Omoregbe presided over the traditional marriage proceedings, which began quickly with the presentation of kola nuts and other dowry items. Thereafter, a representative of the groom's family makes a formal statement on the specific purpose of their visit, which is to seek the hand of Imade Vanessa Igbinedon'S in marriage for their son, Prince Osmond Omoregbe Eweka. After an extensive question and answer session to ascertain the true position of things as regards the intention of the groom to embark on a journey of the heart that requires full and undivided concentration, the groom and his friends were ushered in amidst singing and dancing. Prince Osmond Omoregbe Eweka, the tall, handsome and charming United States of America-based Edo State-born guy who exuded the aura of a prince, was most heartily welcomed by the bride's family, and he connects with them. As he sat and waited patiently to identify his wife amongst the ladies to be paraded, it's good to rehash the words that played out in his heart upon meeting his wife. The groom considers his wife, Imade, a treasure bestowed on him by fate. She's like an angel sent from heaven. Since the day he set his eyes on Imade, Prince Omoregbe said he found happiness and found his missing rib. Quickly, 3 well-dressed veiled ladies were ushered into the venue of the marriage by a group of women singing traditional music. After a thorough search and scrutiny among the ladies on parade, the bridegroom finally informs the gathering that he has found his true bride. This was followed by a loud applause and acclamation. The bridal train then withdraws, leaving the bride, who remains standing by her family members. At that point, the bride is asked whether or not she approves of continuing with the marriage processes. After her consent and approval, the bride's grandfather, Sir Gabriel Igbinedon'S, goes ahead to stress the importance of making an appropriate choice of husband, and prayed in Benin dialect for them. The bridegroom was later invited to declare his love for his bride. Then, the bride takes her seat with her family, while the bridegroom returns to his seat with his family. At this point, the person authorized by the family of the bride announces the acceptance of the gifts earlier presented by the groom's family, and this was also acknowledged by the groom's family. Prayers were offered on the kola nut and other dowry items brought by the groom's family. The bride's family, through the spokesman, announces an amount as dowry and invites the groom's family to present the amount and all the items they brought. The bride's father accepted the dowry and all other items. He retains the customary bride price, which is to serve as the bride's family's contribution to the upkeep of the new couple. The groom's family express their gratitude. The bride's grandfather, Sir Gabriel Igbinedon'S, advises the groom and his family members to take a very good care of his angel. Then, the joining takes place. The groom is called out and asked to kneel down in front of the bride's grandfather. The father of the groom stood behind his son. The closing aspect of the marriage rites includes how the name of the groom will be called 6 times by a member of the bride's family. He shouldn't answer, but at the 7th time, his name will be called by the bride's grandfather, to which he should say no. Then the bride and groom are proclaimed husband and wife.
Omoregbe Eweka, Omoregbe Eweka, Omoregbe Eweka.
Omoregbe Eweka. Obibe Imade Onuagbon. Odowe won Benade wulu ya fe Ulelegba Benawe Ibedo onwe. Oteko ya fe eya yanu o.
The groom now sits by the side of the bride, and the bride's grandfather prays for the bride and places her hand on the lap of her husband. The grand reception began as the bride and groom danced joyously into the arena as they received applause and positive vibes from all the dignitaries that honored them, all standing on their feet. The parents of the bride, Bright Igbinedon'S and Reverend Barrister Mrs. Igbinedon'S, went to town in a no-folds-barred, all-expense-covered manner to give their very first experience in marriage for any of their children, which also coincided with their 27th marriage anniversary, the very best shot. In fact, no area was left unattended to. The icing on the cake, too, was the very loaded dignitaries' list of attendants at the event, which saw people defy the odds to be present at the all-important event. That, in itself, is a vote of confidence in the uncommon goodness and warmth with which Bright Igbinedon'S and his wife demonstrate towards people all the time. It was indeed a harvest of goodwill for Bright Igbinedon'S and his wife and their in-laws, the Eweka family, as they joyfully basked in the euphoria of joining the ranks of grandparents in waiting. With the opening prayer by Professor Mrs. Omoregbe, the presence of God was invoked on the environment and intercession for success of the event. The event took a firm rooting with the opening remarks of the chairman of the occasion, Pastor Izeyamu, the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the last elections in Edo State. Pastor Osage Izeyamu took the couple and the audience through the A to Z of marriage, expatiating on what he calls the do's and don'ts of marriage. Pastor Osage Izeyamu interpreted to the letter what every letter of the word marriage means. He concluded that the word marriage should portend positivity in the short, medium, and long term if properly groomed, nurtured, and grown by both parties.
Anytime I have the opportunity to talk about marriage, there's something I like to tell the couple. I want you to look at the word marriage. It's not just a union between man and wife or between man and woman. Look at the alphabets that make up marriage, and I will tell you what marriage means. The first alphabet you will see in marriage is M. And what M means is that marriage is for matured people. Marriage is for matured people. And what M does not mean is that marriage is not a mistake. So when you see the M in marriage, it doesn't mean mistake, it means matured. People who have come of age and who have decided to live together.
This was followed by the cutting of the wedding cake.
I'm sure we all know how to spell Jesus. So, join us. We are going to start. The first letter, J. J. E. S. U. S. Jesus. Happy married life. Ozzy and Imade. We love you.
And then the bride and father, mother and son dance, which dovetailed into the bridal dance. Parents of the bride and groom took turns to dance with the couple. The grandfather of the bride, Sir Gabriel Igbinedon'S, and his wife, Lady Cherry Igbinedon'S, also danced with the couple. Music was supplied by Lady Ibe and Raju Idiaye, the multi-instrumentalist, who was discovered by Sir Victor Efosa Owaifo. Raju Idiaye, who is a graduate of the Sir Victor Owaifo Joromi School of Music, Benin, who began playing music as a chorister at the St. Patrick Catholic Church, Ugbawo, Benin City, Edo State, leads a group called the Rakens, based in Abuja. Raju Idiaye dazzled the audience with the impeccable presentation of the favorites of Sir Victor Owaifo, with which he held the audience captive and spellbound. It was an occasion to rejoice with the Igbinedon'S and Eweka family as they played host to the entire world on the wedding of their children. Professor Mrs. Onwike, former Director General of the Nigeria Stock Exchange, led other family members from Bonny Town, the home place of the father of the bride's mother, in the solidarity dance with the mother of the bride, Reverend Barrister Mrs. Igbinedon'S, who was supported by her brothers and sisters. The kith and kin of the bride's mother from Nsukka in Enugu State were also there in their numbers, among whom was Right Honorable John Kevin Okuta, a ranking member of the Enugu State House of Assembly. All the men in the house, led by the elder brother of the bride's father, two-term governor of Edo State, Chief Lucky Nasahara Igbinedon'S, gave Bright Igbinedon'S, the father of the bride, a dancing covering fire, with him in the middle. The couple too had their time, as they were surrounded by all their friends as Mr. DJ took over, pumping up heavy jams that went on till the end of the traditional marriage of Imade Vanessa Igbinedon'S and Osmond Omoregbe Eweka. The wedding, we gather, is planned to hold towards April 2017, most possibly in South Africa, where the father of the bride, Bright Igbinedon'S, is like an emperor, with the connections at the right places. May God bless the marriage with fruits of the womb.
Anytime she come around, she drive me crazy.